Why do people in general, and now even NBA players, always ask to make things easier? Why are we constantly lowering the bar like it's a limbo contest instead of a professional sports league? This one's about NBA players today, including LeBron James, asking for shorter season, longer breaks between games, or more time off between the regular season and the playoffs. As LeBron James asked recently himself, he actually wanted a month. What exactly has happened to players that instead of preparing harder for the work ahead, they keep campaigning for less work? Did hard work go out of fashion along with baggy shorts, guys? I'm going to show you some recent comments from Kevin Garnett, where he explains why the things today NBA players are getting injured so damn often. And spoiler alert, it's not because the rims are meaner now, okay? KG talks about players today thinking they're in top shape when they're actually not. Now after that, we're going to hear from old school tough guy Charles Oakley, who has also something to say about the idea of shortening the NBA season. And let's just say he's not asking for extra rest days and aromatherapy. This is getting embarrassing for the league. Every era of NBA before this, 2000s, 90s, 80s, 70s, played full 82-game seasons, and players didn't break down like they do today. And please don't feed me that tired line about the pace of the modern game being so much higher, because that's just not true. In 2025, the highest paced team in the NBA was the Memphis Grizzlies, with a pace rating of 103.2. But the highest paced team in NBA history was the Denver Nuggets in the 1990-91 season, with a pace rating of 113. So miss me with the excuses, okay? Players used to be tougher, and I think Kevin Garnett hits on why. So let me play you his comments real quick. But first, welcome. My name is Paul, and this is The Basketball Show, where I talk today's NBA, current events, news, players, and more. All completely unbiased, even though some people disagree, because any opposing opinion to weak people is always hating. Truth is truth, and I try to stand by that.
And we don't think that the NBA, today's NBA player, they do play at a fast rate, but I don't think they're in the tip-top shape. I don't think these players today, I think they're in shape until they talk to motherfuckers that's in shape. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think the league is in the type of shape that you need to be in the type of shape to play at this pace. I think they think that, and if anybody knows the body, your calves are your brakes. You know, your calves are your brakes. And the one thing that supports the calves is your Achilles. So if your calf is the first thing to shut down, you have to think about how things are built, right? I watched all of the tapes of Cole, Tatum, and Hallie. When you watch how all three of them poured their shit, they poured it the same way. Pump fake, and you used to pump fake like this. I used to pump fake with my whole body, meaning that I would show you the ball. Paul, Cole, Tracy, when they would give you something because they was wings, they can give you a pump fake from here. It didn't even have to be a dramatic, but they were so prolific at the shot that you had to honor it. So when P gave you this, he already knew that you was up, so he would be already in there. If you're not one stretched, and again, I heard this the other day. Some of the trainers were talking about the lack of calf raises for some of the players to end their workout. Bro, we used to end a workout, especially on a leg day, calf raises. This is how I'm speeding up, this is how I'm stopping, this is my whole wiggle. If your calves ain't here. And on top of, whenever I go to finish, I gotta be athletic enough to finish, right? Bro, when you start breaking that down, I'm watching how the technique of that, man, that is, to me, I'm watching, when you are working out and the coach gives the ball back to you to reset, he gonna tell you to get into a three. Bro, all this technique means something. First time, you know when you break technique? Then when you get tired. When you get tired, I start standing up. Technique breaks down, I ain't showing it hard, I'm just trying to, you know what I'm saying? So when I watched it, man, they all three playing it the same way. And to me, yeah, that's what I saw. And they all popped the same way.
Like, this is what Ticket talk about, that they out of shape. We practiced every day. We went up and down every day.
Like a game.
Like a game. So we 5-on-5 pretty much the whole season.
With drills.
With drills. And so now they come in and they doing a lot of individual work.
With a trainer.
You know, so a lot of our shit was game speed. Right.
with a trainer.
And then in the summer?
At half speed.
Right.
For 30 minutes.
Right.
And then they're gonna go play a 2-hour fucking game and think they gonna play.
In the summer, we played ball.
Ball,
We
hard.
played 5-on-5.
For 7 hours.
In the summer, they individual work every day.
For 30 minutes with one trainer.
Yeah.
And think that's gonna be the same shit. Like, what are we talking about here? Bro, motherfucker do a whole workout an hour by himself. I come in here, it's 5 niggas in one workout doing 30 minutes. Bro, this is not the same shit, bro.
No.
Then he gonna go run Red Mountain and try to kill himself.
The main thing I picked up from what KG said, players think they're in great shape, but they're not in game shape. Not the kind of shape that keeps you standing tall after 82 game grind. Now listen, I usually don't praise LeBron, but I gotta admit, he looks like he's in actual great shape every single season. No Achilles tears, no major injuries, nothing really. Some people might attribute that to some extra help, if you know what I mean, but I'm not gonna dive into that conspiracy today. What I will say is all this talk about how modern players are more advanced, better conditioned, total nonsense. KG drops knowledge about how back in the day, players did tons of calf raises and other stuff to build up strength. When I was in my basketball prime, late 90s and 2000s, I worked super hard on my calves just as an example to improve my vertical. I read everything I could, about the pros and what they were doing. I even had a 2x4, a little wood 2x4 in my house that I used to stand on with my toes and do calf raises. I literally did 10 sets of 100 calf raises per day. No joke. Just to be able to do this at 6'1".
Bravo! Sister suggestion? Oh, baby! Yes! Oh.
Now, to some of y'all, that might not look like much or not be impressive, but I worked my butt off to get there. My own father used to joke that my vertical was so bad, if I jumped, he could not slide a newspaper from underneath me. Today, jokes like that would be considered offensive. Kids and even players act like they need a therapist after hearing something similar. That's why these guys are dropping like flies right now. Their bodies aren't conditioned to take a real beating. They've trained like influencers, not athletes. You want your body to hold up through an NBA season? Then stop practicing at half speed and taking personal days like you're working in HR. Even LeBron James has complained that the NBA season should be shortened. And he complains about it because he's getting older and he wants to play longer. Now here is what he said, and I quote, "It's not the minutes, it's the games. The minutes don't mean anything. We can play 50-minute games if we have to. It's just the games. We all, as players, think it's too many games. In our season, 82 games is a lot." He just said that, all as players, and that's not true because there was a vote done for this, and between 70 to 80% of players don't think that the season should be shortened, but a lot of stars are starting to talk about it. Now, this guy never misses a chance to complain, meaning LeBron James. Nobody complained about this back in the day. But even Dirk Nowitzki, another all-time great, recently has said that the NBA doesn't need 82 games. But then you've got the GOAT, Michael Jordan, who dropped this, in response to LeBron James and Dirk Nowitzki as well. And he said this, and I quote, "I love both of those guys, but this was as he was an owner. But as an owner who played the game, I loved playing. If I wasn't playing 82 games, I still would have been playing somewhere else because that's the love of the game I had. As a player, I never thought 82 games was an issue." Boom, case closed. And if that wasn't enough, check this out.
Are you a fan of just load management?
No.
You're a fan of?
No. I think that you should want to play. They paying your salary. The kids come to the game. They want to see you, especially the team you want to play once at home, once on the road. You got to play these games. I think they allowed into the business now because the league got so soft. It's a players' league. They get what they want. So I feel sorry for the fans. I'm apologizing from the old school guys that y'all had to go through this. I really apologize. I'm sorry.
Would you coach again?
No. No. It's not for me, because I don't like a lazy person. Practice at 10 o'clock. When I was coaching, the guys come at 9:45. I'm gonna bust him out right now. Gerald Henderson. He went to school in Virginia, but his son went to Duke, so he was on the team. He come in 2 mornings like 9:45. So I called and told his dad, I'm like, get on your son, he gotta come early. When I tell him it's gonna be ugly. So I gave him a break because I knew his dad. Some of them I would've just stopped him right there and like, no. Told me later on, thanks, old man, you was right. Some guys don't take that easy. Like, oh, he criticized me. You was old school. We don't play that. We don't do the things y'all did. Maybe you should try it. You might play 18 years instead of 5 or 6.
You know, overall, I agree with Oakley, Garnett, and Pierce. There's a reason today's NBA players are often called prima ballerinas by fans. The constant complaining, the coddling, the obsession with branding over basketball. Some players are still warriors, don't get me wrong, but a lot of them, they're more focused on launching a sneaker collab or hosting a podcast than getting better at hoops. And don't even get me started on this quote from Draymond Green. And I come back to this every once in a while in my videos. And he literally said around 70% of NBA players today don't even care if they win or lose. Now read that again, or listen to that again. 70% of players today don't care if they win or lose. That is just terrible. So after hearing my take and the thoughts of KG, Pierce, Oakley, even MJ, let me know what you guys think. Should the NBA shorten the season to pamper today's players? Or should the players go back to the old school grind, get in shape, and actively earn their millions? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who thinks 82 games is too hard. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.